in today's video we will see how to show the submenus also. Okay, I told you in the navigation menu part 1 video that whatever the code samples I have mentioned earlier, in that it will not have any submenu, correct? So I will show here how to create the submenus and how we show it in the display. So when you go for navigation, I have already added the menu submenus. Okay, first one you have to select the first one you have to select the menu label, then create one menu item like this. Let's put it as A just for understanding. Now you should drag under this is how you create submenu items. Okay, so these are the submenu items. I will click save and then you have to publish. Okay, so if we check now, we are not able to see any submenu items, not even to the side, not even to the top, bottom, anywhere. So why? Because it is of the difference in the properties. So just I told you, in the navigation menu item we are just displaying the label, right? We are not iterating through the submenu items, we are just iterating through the one level of the items. That's why it is not displaying. So before that I will tell you one more thing. Okay, now there is a concept called target. Okay, so this target, what it does is, when you click on any menu item, it is redirecting to that particular page, right? So that target will contain to what page it should redirect. But when you observe for this comics and manga, there is no navigation. So what will happen? Target will be null. So if you check in the console, you will get, see, navigation menu item originally action value is missing for menu item, target is null, id is 2 means non-fiction. So for that, and then for id 0 also, because we have the menu items for this, that's why. Okay, and I think this is the older one. Let me refresh and check again. Yeah, see, earlier, like, non-fiction was also menu label, that's why it showed 2 IDs. I did not refresh, so I refreshed now. So now if you check, the target is null only for this part. All these are containing the target, that means they are able to redirect, but no matter how many times you click, nothing will happen, right? Because it is not having any target, it's null. So how do we add the target? First we have to write the logic to show the submenu items, and then we will come here and then we will see the navigation. Okay, so in order to iterate over the items again, you should call navigation item, navigation menu item again in the navigation menu item. What I'm telling is, so now you are just displaying the label, that means this label you are displaying, but under this we have also many labels, right? So you should iterate it again. Okay, I already explained in the navigation menu JS, we have a property submenu, right? Item dot submenu. So using this value we will check whether submenus are there or not. Okay, now we don't have to do any update or any modifications for the navigation menu. It's all about navigation menu item. So I will close all the navigation menus. Now if you go to the UI part, okay, now let's just add one div. Okay, so let's give class as menu item. Okay, menu item means the first level. Now let's close this div under a tag. Okay, now for this I said submenu, correct? So first, before that, what we should do is, in the JS file we have to declare @track submenu equals to, by default what it will be false only. Okay, now when we will make that as true, as soon as we load, right? As soon as we refresh the page. So it should be in the connected callback. If this dot, like for every item we are checking, no, if this dot item dot submenu, that means submenu is there, and this dot item dot submenu dot length, this is just an additional check, okay, let greater than 0, then we are changing this dot has submenu equals to true. Okay, we did. Now, okay, I gave it a submenu. Let's change it to has submenu only. Else, that means there are no submenus. Then we should make sure that that will be false only. So you don't have to do anything. Let's just put it as false for now. This dot, it will be false anyways. Okay. Now false. Now what we have to do, go to here, if false of, if false of what, has submenu, that means we are checking. Now as soon as the page loads, the connected callback method will be invoked, and from the navigation menu this property will be passed, right, for each item. Now from this item we are changing whether, okay, this particular item is having the submenu and its length is greater than 0, so we are making it true. So when it is true, it will show the submenu items. If not, it will show the label only. So this label should be shown only when the has submenu is false. Okay, done. Now if there are submenu items, then open a template tag, close it. Now inside this, if true of, that means submenus are there, has submenu, then we should show the submenus, correct. But before this, if the submenu is also there, then we should also show them the label, right? So this is a iteration in iteration. Okay, this part will run when there is no sub item, this part will run when there are sub items. So for that, first we should display the label also again. Okay, I will explain you with example this part why I am writing label again. Let's give the class as the same label only. Okay, now inside this we should have label. Okay, why I wrote this, because when you come here, this is label, that means these are all not at all having the submenu, so it will show this part. If there is a submenu, okay, if there is a submenu, then also it should show this label, right? So if there is a submenu, it will not go to this part only, so label only won't be displayed. So when it is true also, we want the label, that means we want this comics and manga to be displayed even when there are submenus also. That is why we are writing the label again here. Okay, now inside this we are done with the label part, right? Now let's write one more div. So this div is for submenus, class equal to submenu. Okay, now inside this, now open one template tag. This is for reiteration, I said, right, reiteration. The same thing what you did in the navigation menu, what you did is, for each menu items you are passing the item and then item ID. That means for all the navigation menu, you are calling the navigation menu item and it is displaying the label. Now you are already in the navigation menu item. Now for each navigation menu item we have sub menu items, so you should call it again here. Okay, that is why again one more, for each item is already available here, for each item, you should not refer item, not just item, it is item dot submenu. Okay, because we are not just iterating it on the first level, we are iterating it in the second level now. For item equal to, let's give it as subitem, item subitem, give enter. Now you have to call again, see navigation menu item. Okay, close this. Now what you have to pass, key should be item dot submenu, subitem id you have to pass, right? So what will be the item? Key is id, we will refer with the id, and item will be subitem now, subitem. Why? Because we are referring it with the name as subitem. Okay, now it will show the submenus also. Let's deploy and check. Okay, it is deployed. Refresh. Let's close this console. Okay, see, now it is showing the One Piece, Naruto, that's all. I think we added only 2. Okay, now this part is done. If you click on One Piece, what is happening? Nothing is happening, it is not redirecting. But when you check in the navigation, we gave that One Piece should be redirected to some page. One Piece, it should redirect to forward password, but it is not happening. Why? Because there is no target. So what I was telling earlier is target null and target not null. I will explain it here. Let me add some statements for this. Let me add console dot log of items JSON dot stringify of this this dot item now. So I have added this. Now it will print all the properties of the items and all the items also. And one more thing, in the click event also, let's add console dot log of item target, this dot item dot target. Okay, we are good with this. Now let's deploy this and check. Refresh. As soon as you as soon as you deploy, you have to refresh. Now if you check items, okay, we have the items array, items, all the items. So how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many items? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then One Piece Naruto. So all 7 are there. So when you check here, target is null, ID is 0, label is comics and manga. That means this part. So its target is null since it's a menu label. No matter how many times you click, it will never redirect. That is why the target is null. And what I said, target will contain the reference to where it should redirect. Okay. Now for the comics and manga, if you check, the submenu is containing something, some arrays are there. So if you check in detail, the submenu is having first one label as One Piece, and then for the comma, and this is the second submenu, it is having Naruto. Okay, we have the labels. Now if you check again, for the label One Piece, the submenu is empty because we don't have any submenu items for the One Piece. That is why it is showing empty. Similarly for the Naruto. Now if you check, this target is null. Okay, comics and manga target is null, whereas the submenu target, where is it? Target is current window. Okay, and for the Naruto, target is also current window. Right, now let's see the other one, that is first item label. Okay, this is One Piece. Okay, we have separate also. So target is current window. Now let's see the label one, that is fiction. So if you see fiction, okay, this is fiction. Now its target is what? Forgot password. We don't have any current window here. Okay, did you understand? The target here is current window and the target here is actual site reference. Why there is difference? So in this navigation menu, what happens is, if there are no submenu items for a particular menu item, then it will contain the reference in the target field only, I mean in the target property only. For example, if that is a submenu item, then there is a property called action value. Okay, so action value will contain the forgot password, that is the reference, that is the actual target. So that is the thing I was referring from the start. So the target will be null for the label, and for the submenu items, target will be actually stored in the action value property, not the target. You will not find any target here. Okay, I mean reference. Target will be always current window or external window, that's all. The action value property will contains the actual reference. That is the difference. Okay, I'm making it clear again. If there are submenu items, the label's target will be null, whereas all the targets for the submenu items will be stored in a property called action value. Whereas if there are no submenu items, then the reference to which it should redirect to will contain in the target only. Okay, so for this part, how we have to do it is, we should change our JS a bit. Okay, so let's see that first. Now what, let's go to, okay, we are in JS only now. Okay, now if the submenu is there, we are making this. If submenu is not there, then we are showing it as false. At that time, here only we will call one method, this dot construct page reference. Okay, why I am writing this method is, when you are in the first iteration, that means when you are here, it is containing submenus. So what happens, this is containing submenu, so it will come to the first loop. Yes, it is having submenu, and then it will show, it will make sure this is true. Okay, that is for the first item. When you check in the consoles earlier, there are like 7 consoles, I mean 7 rows. That means it is printing these also. Now if you go for one piece, now one piece is a item. Now it will not check whether it's a sub item or what. When you come here again, that will be item, right? So it will check whether it is having any submenu. It will not have. Then what will go, it will go to construct page reference. Now in this method, we have to change the redirection. That means we have to, whatever I was telling, target action value, we will make sure that we'll update here. So let's write that method first. Construct page reference. Let me copy from here only. So these are iterations in the iterations. Every time it will contain, whenever the iteration is happening, it will consider this as item only. This is one item, this is one item, this is one item, this. Okay, that is why it will again check for this. Okay, now these are not at all redirecting, even if I click, correct? So when it come here, it will check, okay, submenu item or not. If not, it will go to else part, because we have else. Okay, if there is no else, what happens, it will come here, it will check whether it's internal link or external link. It will be internal link only, obviously. And what happens, URL will be target. But when we check for our submenu items, do we have target? Target will be always current window. That's a wrong reference. That is why we are writing the else part, to make sure that it will not execute this. It will update the page reference in this method only. That is why we are writing construct page reference. And then, so if this dot item dot target not equal to current window. We are having what current window? Only those two, right? Current window, or sorry, and this dot item dot target not equal to new window. So this is for the label, not labels, like which menu items don't have submenus. So what I said, for those target will be the side page only, correct? So in console we can check again. So here if you check, okay, these two are submenus, so ignore. Okay, id 1, this is fiction. So fiction, so what target is containing forgot password, and for this submenus what this target is current window, and sometimes target can be new window also, that is a separate case. So we are making sure that it's not current window, it's not target window, that is it is containing some reference. Then this dot page reference, okay, this dot page reference should be item dot target, right? Type, it should be standard underscore, let me copy it from here only, it's the same thing. Okay, so web page, this dot page reference is standard underscore web page. Now here we have to change the attributes. So this dot item dot target, okay, this is what when the particular menu item is not having any submenus. If there are submenus, that means let's put in the else if part, if this dot item dot target equal to, we will compare it triple equal, no, in the JS current window, it can be this, or it can also contain new window, as I said, new window. Okay, now what we should do, I told, now the reference will be stored in a property called action value, so we have to refer that here, this dot item dot action value. Okay, now we are good with this, let's deploy. Now when we click on that One Piece or Naruto, it will redirect, that's for sure now, because we are changing the page reference. Let's click on it, see, it got redirected, earlier it did not. So let's go to home page, and now let's complete the UI part. Okay, this is what the backend part is completely. So let's just add some properties, I mean some classes, and then let's see. Now what I want to do is, when I will first show these labels first, labels, and then when they hover any of the menu, like when they come here and then they want, then it should show a drop down with these parts. That means then only it should show the submenus. So for that what I will do is, let's give this class label. Okay, for that we should write on mouse over events. Okay, on mouse over ANDLE over, okay, this is equal to, and on mouse sleeve, that means we are just moving away from there, HANDLE handle mouse LEAVE, remove it. Okay, we are good with this. Now if there are submenus, let's just add one more template tag. We can also go with the div, so let me add template only, template, close. Now let's put this template after this div. Now if true of Let's put some property later since we have not. Okay, let's go and define one value. What is it? Show sub menu. This will be good. Okay, equal to false first. It will be false, right? So when they hover only it will become true. So let's add it here. When they show it, we already have class, we have defined class already, and for each, okay, for this we don't have to write anything again. Now let's add the JS, okay, for the handle mouse over. And then, so what I was telling, we already have this show submenu property. So let's, what is it, handle mouse over, and the other one is handle mouse leave. This is one method, and then the other one is okay, these two are events. Now already, so when they hover it, we should show the submenu, that means true. When they leave the mouse, it should be again false. Okay, let's deploy. Since we have not updated in CSS, let's see how it looks. If you just complete the CSS part, we are good with this part. Okay, see comics and manga. Now if I hover, it's just showing one thing. So there's no CSS, that's why it is showing double times. But it should not show it way. Okay, let's complete then and we'll check. Okay, we are having the true submenu, this part, and then label. Okay, we are showing the label here and then label here. Okay, let's just complete the CSS first. Now for the menu item, we have the menu item class, right? So it should be, first we have to start from the first class. For the menu item, we should give the position as relative and display as inline block. Why it is inline OCK block? Okay, what is the error? Okay, now for the next menu item label, that means for the menu item whatever the label is there, this part, dot menu item and then dot label, that is the class name for the label, right? So we'll put it as text wrap, like text should not cut off, it should show everything, and then cursor is pointer, then only we can understand it is clickable, right? And then dot menu item dot submenu, this is for the submenu, this is where we style it. So now position should be absolute because we gave the parent one as relative, so it should if we give absolute, it will be on that, it will show on the relative. That means when you hover like this, it will show the comic manga like that, and on top of that it will show the next submenus. And then we have to give top as 100%, so everything should be displayed, and left will put it as 0, it should not go anywhere. So z index, let's put it as 10 so that it will show everything. And then display none, like even when you hover only it should show. And then, well, let's give some background color for this. It should be lighter color, PADAE4, this color will look good. And then we'll add minimum width, like width of the submenu, that box, let's put it as some 120 pixel and see if it is not good, then we can give more. And let's add some box shadow also, so that we can see box shadow, 0 pixel, we 8 pixel, like to one side it should know. So it's top right, bottom left, so let's go with this only. 8 pixel, 16 pixel, this is what generally we use it. And RGBA 0, 0, 0, 0.2. all right, then we should have the main thing now, hover. When you hover only it will show, right? So when you hover that, display should be block, otherwise it should be none. Display should be none, right? Like here we gave display none, when they hover it, it will be block. Deploy, refresh. Okay, let me check once why it is showing two different. Let's I think the mistake is because of the difference in the variable name. So since this is not at all declared, so the value will be false by default. So if also false, it will become true. So that is why it is displaying the label, that means this label. And similarly all these are displaying. And again when we come to the sub menu, we are again displaying the label. That is why it should, like, it is running in two templates, and then it is showing multiple labels. So let me just correct this and deploy this. Refresh, now it will go. Yeah, now let's see this part, One Piece and Naruto. Okay, this because we gave the text wrap as no wrap for the label. So since we gave no wrap, it will make sure that everything is in displaying in single line, that's why. So at one point of time this also will become a menu item, so let's give the text wrap as balance, so that it will not cut off any information and then it will display everything. I think this should work now. Yeah, so I think the font is not uh, good. Like this should be small, this should be a bit larger than this. Okay, so that's not the main thing now. We are able to display the sub menu items also. So let's put the font size as smaller. Deploy the source to arc. Okay, we can also increase the space between these two by giving the padding and all. Okay, this look good, and let's change this also. This is in the label, right? Font size, we'll give it as XX large. Deploy, refresh. Okay, this is too large, but that's okay. And this also got increased now, because it is also taking this. Let's leave it this, and we can increase the space between the A tags, right? This menu items we can increase. Let's put it as padding left and right also we can give. Let's give 10 pixel, and then we can check everything here. Okay, this is the best part. Padding right also 10 pixel, or else let's give the percentage 1 rem. Left also the same, 1 rem. Okay, this looks good to me. Yeah, let's add these two. We can add in single statement also. This is for the menu item. Let's add padding top, right? Top is 0. Top right, bottom left, the sequence. So we can just comment out these two parts. Let's deploy and then check. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, this is cool, and then we can reduce the size of this also. Let's change and check. Font size is already smaller. Important. I think it will reflect because we are referring dot menu item dot. Yeah, this worked a bit, I think so. Okay, let's not worry about that. Okay, this is how you display the submenu items also. You can add later, then it will reflect for everything. Okay, this is how we do it, and that's all for this